I do want to go back to you just saying that there's so many things and trying to like figure that out and freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I relate on so many levels. Like a lot of people don't know, but I would wake up like 2 a.m. and be freaking out. Like, how does it all connect? Because in my mind, I'm like, I love marketing. I love marketing. I love reaching people. Like, not just marketing, because it sounds so stoic and cold and salesy. I love to reach people. There's something in me. I love to reach people. I love to help, like, others reach people, too. So how do I do that? I'm also a musician. I feel called to do music on a major level. How do I do that? How does it all connect? I love sports. Like, I would just, like, I would be in the bed, like, I love sports. I like to, you know what I mean? I like to paint. Like, you know what I mean? I love to interior design. Sorry,
that's from all that. Anyway.
But, you know, I really feel like, it doesn't have to make sense. It does not have to make sense. Yeah. And I think my life has started to make sense because I just kept journeying down these different pathways all at once, which sounds really random and like it doesn't make sense. But you can you can journey down many pathways all at once, and they can maybe never come together. But I feel like God has brought mine together. Yeah. Like, and so like, for example, my music is a good example of how to reach people. Right. So it helps too. Like, we're doing all of these amazing resources now, which I didn't know like 3 years ago that we would start to create. The Lord gave me dreams. Like,
that's awesome.
Because I was just paranoid and like freaking out at like 3 a.m. I was really going through it, and I'd have dreams and I'd figure it out. And it was like, write a book. And I'm like, but I am not like known as a writer. Like, that was an authentic like swirl and like downward spiral. Like, I'm known kind of for music, and then like now people kind of know me because I do a lot of marketing, but writing, they're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. Like, they already kind of do because I'm already doing a lot. Like, writing too. Okay, put out a course was next, and I was like, build a course. Like, what else are we gonna do here? I'm not trying out for the Olympics. That's all I'm saying. Like, and so it just felt very random, but like, all comes together. Yeah. And serves this greater purpose. And I think sometimes as artists, we have to take our hands off. Yeah. And just be like, this is what it is. Like, I don't need to explain it to anybody. Right. Or myself.
Unapologetic. Yeah.
Unapologetic. Yeah. I don't have to explain it. It doesn't need to be explained. I think that, which is a little bit different. Like, I don't have to explain it to you means I might get it, but you might not. Yeah. But when you say it doesn't have to be explained, none of us have to understand it. Yeah. And it's okay to just do all of it. Yeah.
Yes. I find like you're actually one of, like, you inspire me a lot. And so like, really? I love, yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know why I did that.
Okay, Elvis.
No.
Thank you very much.
I'll be telling you stuff in my brain. I don't know.
It's okay.
Man, I don't know.
It's a creative brain. It's
anyway, be doing things. But no, you really inspire me, and I love like even like hearing like a snippet of your story. It like just encourages me so much, and just when you're like, man, I didn't know how it connected, and like, and how like the Lord just like came through, but how you were just like I just kept doing it, and then eventually like He gave me a piece of it, and I was able to like connect everything, and look, here we are. Like, you know what I mean? And it just it's so encouraging, as well as I love how authentic you are with, and just how honest and real you are about how you're like, everyone sees where I'm at now, but no one saw the, you know, the grind like of how I got there. Yeah. And so, you know what I mean? And I love how like you've shared with me a little bit of how you got there, and I'm just like, it's so encouraging, because it's like, it's not just, I mean, I feel like social media kind of does that sometimes, where you're seeing the end result, or you're seeing like the middle to the end result, but not necessarily the beginning, and how it's not just a piece of cake, like, you know, and how it really takes being patiently enduring, and how like
legitimately,
just how you were saying, like, you weren't a sprinter, but you learned, you got stamina, you gained stamina, and you learned to continue to keep going, to keep working, to not give up. Fourth quarter.
And I had to realize, what if my fourth quarter happens when I'm 70? And that was really hard for me.
That
like,
would be
especially
hard.
with music, because a lot of people hit big in the music industry when they're like 18,
Yeah.
16. And then these record labels raise them up. They become these amazing sensations. And by the time they're 24, they're like millionaires.
Yeah.
And that's like, unfortunately, like this picture that our media has painted, which makes us think this is the normal example, which in fact, it's like the very like 0.5% example. Like there's a lot of like people that are just,
It's the exception.
yeah, it's the exception. There's a lot of people that are not famous, incredible musicians, some of the best musicians you'll ever meet. We know a lot of them, and they're not famous like that, and they're not millionaires like that, but they live a very fulfilled life, and they feel like they're doing what they're called to do, and it's amazing. And so I had to get real with myself. What if it never looks like that? Like, what if I'm not Justin Bieber's little sister? Like, you know what I mean? In terms of like success. And then I also had to think to myself, what if I come into the fulfillment of what the dream I feel like God has given me at like 70?
Yeah.
Am I okay with taking that journey? Or does it need to look like what I want it to look like? And what do I have to prove to everyone around me? Like, what is it that I need to like achieve so much in such a small span of time? Because that was my issue.
Yeah,
and so I started thinking about that, and I had to get real with myself. I'm like, okay, I like music. This was just in music. I was like, I like music so much that if I never get there, I'm still down with the journey. Mm-hmm. And if I achieve what I long to achieve at 70, 75, I'll stick on the journey because I like this.
Right. I think that's the key. It's, do you like what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
kind of thing. Or like, yeah, what's your intention? What's your end game, I guess? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's really good. And I think, I mean, I'm like, I'm just going to say it, but
Go ahead.
I feel like that is something for all of us to remember, whether we're like super successful or just starting out, or like, or what is like, to check in with ourselves and ask, like, what's my intention? Why am I doing this? Do I like what I'm doing? And if you don't, then you can, like, you know, being brave and changing it or figuring out a way to change it, I think, which goes back to like advice that you've given me of like, just pick something or do something kind of, or just start. And if you don't like it, do something else.
It.
Like, you can switch it, like, with like, like, and so
that's my mom's advice, actually.
yeah, well, let's,
which stays
shout
with
out
me. Love you,
Gabby's
mom. Yeah, when I went to college, she said, if you don't like it, come home.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me forever. So I've always been like, because people, I don't know where this comes from. It's like, don't ever quit.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Nike.
Like, quit.
Maybe.
If you
I don't
hate
know.
it, quit fast. Like, unless you need that job,
fast.
then don't quit. You need to stick with it until you find something, then you can quit. But yeah, like, that's real. Like, some of us stay in things way too long. We stay in relationships way too long. We stay in on journeys way too long that we're not supposed to be on. It's okay to quit. But it's also okay to normalize hard work.
I think you had to have both. Cause
You have to have both, because if you don't work hard at anything, and that's the problem. I feel like our generation, I'll be honest, and my little brother's generation, I'm sorry to call it all of us out, but I think we have taken, my parents' generation has normalized hard work to a fault. Like, my parents are still doing the same careers that they did when they were 18.
Right.
I honor them. I think it's amazing. My dad loves it, so he's a mechanic. He loves it.
Excuse me.
But a lot of people in my parents' generation hate it, but they're just still doing it. I think our generation has done a whole left pendulum swing. When we hate stuff, we are out and we are not coming back. But then a lot of us never end up working hard at anything.
Yeah.
Right? We know a lot of people.
Let me say this. Those are some strong statements, but I don't disagree. But I don't I don't disagree.
It's a generalization, meaning it's not everybody in our generation. Because you work hard. I know I work hard. We have friends that work hard.
I think so. Yeah.
We know people that work hard. If you work hard, you don't need to leave a comment, because it was not for everyone, okay? But there's a good portion of people that we've met, I would say, which gives me my personal perspective, that really want, just to be on a sincere level, they really want these dreams that are in their heart and that God has probably given them. Yeah. But yet either are scared to start or like just really believe it's going to be handed to them.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to watch, because I'm like, man, if you just would start, like if you would just start, so much would unfold for you.